We are going to Texas, y'all. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Jen, and this is A Better Life with Jen. And today I am headed out for a work trip to San Antonio, Texas, and I'm going to bring you along. Now, I have never been to San Antonio, so I've heard there's some great things, really fun. Hopefully it'll be a great time. The weather is supposed to be interesting, I'll say. So the first couple days, it's supposed to be really nice with highs in the 70s. And then there is a storm coming in, and they are expecting very cold and possible snow in Dallas, which I have to fly through to get to San Antonio. So getting home may be a little tricky, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll take you along for the ride. So let's get headed to Texas.
So I made it through security in the airport. Security was super quick. There was literally 0 people in the TSA pre-check line, so happy to have that. Just sitting in the lounge, it's really nice to have lounge access with some of the travel credit cards that we have. So it's a nice place to sit, grab something to drink, get my computer out, do a little work. Still have about a half an hour before I board the flight. And then it's about a 3-hour flight to Dallas, and then a short layover, and then on to San Antonio. So hopefully all goes smooth, and I will catch you when we make it to San Antonio. So the flight to Dallas was pretty uneventful, was on time, everything was great. We're landing, and I check in the app to make sure there's no updates and see what gate my flight to San Antonio leaves from, and lo and behold, it says it is delayed. It is delayed by over 5 hours. I was like, are you kidding me? It was originally supposed to leave at 6 o'clock Texas time, and it wasn't going to be leaving until 11:50, and it wasn't going to get into San Antonio until almost 1 in the morning. I was like, absolutely not. So I was able to, in the app, easily rebook. It wasn't great, but it is a couple of hours early. So now I leave at 9:30 local time instead of 11:30 local time. So still have several more hours in the Dallas airport than I anticipated, but all is not lost. I do have a Capital One Venture X credit card, which gets me into the Capital One lounge. So I'm going to head over there in just a minute. You can only get in there 3 hours before your flight leaves, so I was a little bit early, but I'm going to head over there in just a minute. It'll be a nice, comfortable place to sit. I can get some work done, have some good food, and we'll check it out. Eventually, I will make it to San Antonio. I am confident.
So it has been way too long of a travel day. I finally made it to my room. It is about midnight Texas time, about 10 o'clock California time, which is a little bit past my bedtime. So it's been a long day, but I could not leave you hanging without a tour of the room. So I'm staying at the Kimpton. I've never stayed at a Kimpton hotel before. I've heard they're very nice. And this is the Kimpton San Antonio Riverwalk. So it's within walking distance of the Riverwalk, and that's my plan for tomorrow. But I'll go ahead and give you the obligatory hotel room tour. It looks really, really nice. So we walk in, here is the bathroom, a nice big shower, bathroom, toilet, it's a bathroom. Closet over here. And then you walk into the bedroom. Bed, nice big bed. It's just me, so plenty of room. And then there's a window. It's too dark out to tell what I actually can see, but I'll find out in the morning. Little desk with a lamp. Nice over here. I am super excited because they have Nespresso machines in the room. I have never used one, and I keep thinking I want one. So we'll see how it goes. I may have to get one. This is a super cool little refrigerator that's a drawer. So that's pretty cool. And then there are even real fresh flowers. I touched them. They are real. They are not plastic. They are real. So that's very cool. So great room, really nice. So I am going to change, wash my face, take my shoes off, climb into bed, and crash. Like I said, it's been a really long day, but overall it was, fairly uneventful. The flights were fine. The flight between Dallas and San Antonio is 45 minutes. The whole time I was like, I probably could have driven in the like 4+ hours I was in the Dallas airport, plus the 45-minute plane ride. I probably could have driven here, but like I said, alas, I made it. The flight was full, but it was fine. It was too short that we didn't even get beverage service, so I didn't even get a soda, but I'll survive. So like I said, that's it for today. I'm gonna crash. I'll pick you up in the morning. I'm gonna check out, obviously, the fitness center, my favorite place in any gym that I visit. And then my plan is to head downtown or down to the Riverwalk and take you down there and see everything that's there. So that is it for the first day of this trip. Hopefully things go smoothly from here. I am very nervous about the flight home, so I may be rebooking that in a place that does not go through Dallas. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on the weather, but I will catch you tomorrow. Well, good morning. I am like a whole new person. I got some sleep. I got a great workout in the gym. I've got some caffeine, so I am ready to hit the day. Just want to give another little recap of yesterday's travel day, which ended up being about a 14+ hour travel day, because I live a couple hours away from the airport, and you have to get there early. So I had to leave, well before my flight, and then the delay in Dallas. But overall, it was fine. I made it here. It was good. The flight from Sacramento to Dallas was great. It's like 3.5, almost 4 hours, something like that. It was really easy. The plane was not full, so the middle seat in my row was actually empty, which was nice. Had a little bit extra room, on the armrest. I don't mind a full row though. I am always an aisle seat person when I pick my seat. Let me know in the comments if you're an aisle or a window. I don't think most people pick the middle unless they have to, but let me know if you're an aisle or a window seat person. Well, I love to look out the window. I always feel bad because on anything over like 2 hours, I inevitably have to get up and use the bathroom. And I don't like having to climb over people and ask people to get up. So that's why I always pick the aisle just for that. If I had my option and it was going to be an empty row, I would obviously sit by the window because I love to look out and just kind of see. But the flight was really easy. It was super foggy when I got to the Sacramento airport, so I was really nervous that we were going to be delayed, but we took off on time and got to Dallas on time, and it ended up being an issue with the plane. It wasn't a weather thing why they were delayed, because every other flight was on time. It was an issue with the plane where it was coming from. It hadn't come into Dallas yet, so that's why that flight was so delayed. But the Capital One Lounge was very nice. That was my first experience in a fancy lounge. I've been to the lounge in the Sacramento airport, which is fine. It's nice. It's a nice, comfortable place to sit. You have tables, you can do some work, some food, some drinks, whatever. But the Capital One Lounge was on a whole nother level. As you saw, I'll throw up some pictures. The food was incredible. They had little individual servings of all kinds of stuff, lots of beverage options, and then they had a full bar with alcohol complimentary unless you wanted the top shelf. You had to pay for that. I don't drink, so everything I had, all the coffees, sodas, iced tea, all that was free. They had a Peloton. They have a little exercise room you can reserve. I did not do the Peloton, but they have that. They have showers. So, if you have a delay, you can take a shower. So that's really, really nice. So that was just a great place to be able to hang out for a few hours while I was stuck in Dallas. And then, like I said, the flight was super short from Dallas to San Antonio. That flight was full. I was in the middle seat because I had to pick a seat last minute, which was fine. It was such a short flight. We were up, we were down, no big deal at all. So this morning, I'm going to finish my coffee, get some breakfast, get a little bit of work done, and then it's supposed to be a really nice day today. So my plan is to walk down to the Riverwalk. I'll take you along there, show you everything that I see there, and just kind of enjoy the day. The reception and registration for my conference starts late afternoon, so I have a good chunk of the day just to kind of explore.
So I've made it down to the Riverwalk. There's some construction going on around, so it's a little bit loud with construction noise. But as you can see, the river behind me, and I'm just going to kind of start exploring. Apparently, this sort of walk goes all along the river, hence the name Riverwalk. And there's lots of shops and restaurants and things to see and do. So I'm just going to kind of explore, see what I find, and we'll take you along. So this is the Alamo. Apparently you have to pay to get into part of it, but part of this is just an open kind of square. There's a lot of school kids here, so it must be like a field trip for a bunch of schools, but pretty cool. Some old history to look at.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin our 11:30 weapons demonstration. To start things off, we're going to have Ms. Smith pop off around. Will be a little loud, so if you have sensitive hearing, please cover the ears.
So apparently every day at 11:30 a.m. they have a reenactment of musket shooting. So that was what you just saw there. Kind of fun to see. Like I said, it must be field trip day because there's like 9 gazillion kids around. So they thought it was great. But it's kind of interesting to see, how long it actually takes them to load those rifles every time they want to shoot. Very different than how you go hunting now. So what a great day exploring San Antonio. The Riverwalk is so much fun. It's like 9 bazillion restaurants lining it on both sides all over. Super, super fun. And then the Alamo, as I showed you. And then every day they do this musket demonstration, shooting off the muskets, and people are in, period costumes. So that was really fun. Lunch-wise, I found a little barbecue place because, it's Texas. There's like 9 million barbecue places that had a salad with smoked turkey on it. Now, I'm normally like a chicken salad person, but I love turkey and smoked turkey. So this smells phenomenal. I'm going to give you a peek here. So this is the salad with all of the smoked turkey breast on it. And then the dressing that I chose is a smoked pecan vinaigrette, because what's more Texas than that? That sounded really good. But this turkey, oh, it just smells so good. And it tastes incredible. Just the smell, it has that smoky smell. So now it makes me want to get a smoker. But really, really good. I'm going to have this and then get ready for the registration and the welcome reception for my conference. Probably not going to pick you up the rest of the week until I leave, because pretty much going to be in the conference all day long. It's like 8 to 5. Nothing exciting there. The other thing that I have to show, when I was walking, I found this super cute little gourmet chocolate shop. And so I love lemon and I love white chocolate. It's my favorite type of chocolate. So I got this little white chocolate lemon
they call it a bonbon. I think it's like a truffle. Looks great. So gonna have that after I finish this smoky turkey salad lunch. Well, it's been a couple days since I last talked to you. The last 2 days were just filled with my meeting all day long from like 8 to 5. A lot of information, and then I would come back to the room and try to, distill some of the information I got, but was really great. So today is the last day. Today I will be leaving, packed everything up. The meeting goes until about noon, and then I have a flight. And fingers crossed I can get out okay. The weather in Dallas is awful, but I'm hoping that by switching my flight to connect through Phoenix instead of Dallas, I'm going to be able to get home. I keep checking the app, and so far my flight is still on time, but a lot of things could change between now and then. So like I said, fingers crossed I make it home. It's going to be another long travel day, but it'll be nice to get home. San Antonio is a fun city if you ever have a chance to come. The Riverwalk was great, lots of fun to walk around. It was really interesting. The first day I walked through it, it was, in the morning, and it was not super lively. And then I walked one evening after the meeting, and it was much more lively because, like I said, it's just like restaurants lining the whole thing. So it was very interesting to see the difference. It kind of reminded me of being in Vegas, the difference between being on the Strip out in the morning versus in the night. But really, really fun if you ever have a chance to come. Lots of history, lots of really old buildings around. So really, really neat city. The first couple days, the weather was great. It was like close to 70. It was perfect. Got out. Yesterday, I never left the hotel. It was 35, but with the wind, it was 25, it felt like. And I was like, this California girl does not do that. So like I said, I never went outside. I contemplated going for a walk, and just walking past the door to the outside when it opened and this huge rush of cold air, I was like, nope, absolutely not. So it'll be nice to get back to California where it's much more, a mild weather that I am used to. The hotel has been really nice. It's a nice hotel. I'm not fancy. I just need a bed and a gym. And the gym was nice. I'll put up some footage of the gym. They have Peloton bikes, nice weight set, several treadmills, some ellipticals. It was never packed. There were people in there. I usually go early in the morning, so about 5:30. There were always a few people in there, but never packed. So that was really nice. You were able to get some of the equipment. So really, really nice.
Well, so far this has been the craziest travel day ever. As I told you, my original flight through Dallas, I was nervous about not making it, so I rebooked through Phoenix, which I thought was great. The weather's fine, no problem. The plane was coming from Phoenix to San Antonio and then back, so I figured all was good. So keeps getting delayed, and then all of a sudden, you're rebooked till tomorrow. And I'm like, no way. So then they tried to rebook me on a flight through Dallas, which was, funny enough, my original flight that I had changed. I was like, okay, well, we'll give that a try. Let's see. Then all of a sudden, oh, that flight's been canceled. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, at this point, I just want to get home. So I rebooked on a completely different airline, canceled my original flight to go through Phoenix. So I am hopeful. This flight is supposed to leave in a couple of hours through Phoenix. We'll land in Sacramento about 10:30, which is later than my original plan, but better than waiting until tomorrow. So with any luck, these next couple of flights will go off without a hitch. I will land in Sacramento and be home. It'll be probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, which is going to be as if it was 3 o'clock, the time I'm used to now in Texas, and I've been up since what was 5. So it's going to make for about a 22-hour long day, but I'll be home, and that's all that matters. Fingers crossed. This is, like I said, been the craziest travel day ever. I've been rebooked on like so many different flights, and now we're just trying a completely different airline. So I will give you an update probably tomorrow after I've had a little bit more sleep to let you know how everything went. But like I said, fingers crossed. So I forgot to say, the funniest thing was when I rebooked on a different airline, it's in a different terminal in the San Antonio airport. So the terminals are really small and they're like, you can walk between them. So that was no big deal. However, I had to go through security again. And I forgot that I filled my water bottle like I always do after I got through security in the first terminal. So I'm in the line at the second terminal to put all my stuff on the conveyor belt. And all of a sudden it dawns on me that my water bottle is full. So I asked the TSA agent, I was like, do you have a place to dump this? And he's like, it's way over there. I was like, okay, I'll just chug it. So I just stood there and chugged my water bottle as fast as I could. And then once I got through security, I refilled it again.
So after an extremely long travel day, I finally made it home last night, or should I actually say this morning. So multiple delays, finally, like I said, rebooked on a different airline, which was a great move. Finally made it home, climbed into bed about 1 o'clock my time, which was about 3 o'clock Texas time, and I had been up since 5. So it made for about a 22-hour long day, and I am not a person who can sleep on a plane. I can't sleep sitting up. I can't sleep on a plane. So needless to say, I was a little tired when I got home, but crashed, got a few hours of sleep, got up, feel great, ready to tackle all of that, not so fun adulting stuff that I normally do on the weekend that I didn't get done because I wasn't here, like grocery shopping, cleaning the house, meal prepping for the week, all of that stuff. But overall, good trip. Glad I made it home. I am actually grateful that I made it home. A lot of people got stuck overnight and a lot of flights are still delayed. In fact, the flight that I had rebooked on the original carrier to go through Phoenix, I keep getting notifications, is still being delayed. So had I not rebooked on Southwest, I would have still been there and wouldn't have been home until late tonight. So really, really good move to do that. But like I said, overall, good trip. Hope you enjoyed everything, seeing a little bit of San Antonio. It's a fun city, lots of great stuff to walk around and see. Obviously, when it's not, 25 degrees outside, it's much more enjoyable. If you did like this, go ahead and give it a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I do appreciate it. And I will see everyone next week with another video.